Hello, I'm Paul Millen. I'm at Tanui Forest Park. I'm standing in a small block of oven cypress. Thinning's an operation that's needed because when we start with planting, we always plant more trees than we need in a forestry block. And in this case, the trees were planted about 3 metres by 2 metres in the rows, which is about 1,500 stems to the hectare. When you start with that number of trees, it's really good to ensure you get a good young forest that grows up. The trees, as you can see in this stand here, nicely close together, and when they're small, they've got all of them have got room to grow, and the proximity of other trees when they're young like this does encourage them to grow tall and straight, which this stand has shown. However, if you leave the stand without thinning any of those trees out, then the competition between the trees increases so much that the diameter growth in the stem will slow right down, and in fact the stand can become unstable over time because the height of the trees will continue to increase, but without a strong trunk that can also develop, then those trees are at risk of wind throw. The other reason for thinning is to ensure that the best trees, the ones that over time are showing either the best growth, the straightest trunks, etc., that you encourage them to grow the fastest, because those are the ones that you're going to be selling. So you need to eliminate or thin out stems that aren't of the same quality, so that those best stems are the ones that will be your forest. So the thinning operation is quite a challenge for a number of reasons. The timing, so when to do it, and also it needs a machine. You need to use a chainsaw, so it's a physically demanding job and not always one that can be done by the farm forester. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't understand what it is that you're wanting a contractor to do for you, and to be able to direct them to do what you want done in your forest the right way. So hopefully that'll be what you learn today. I'm going to mark trees for their first thinning. These trees are 8 years old now, and the canopy is closed and they're starting to compete with each other for light. So it's time to thin some out. The easiest thing to use is a bit of dazzle paint to mark which trees you're going to remove from the stand, and I'm just going to walk around the stand now and select those trees for removal. Mainly they're the smaller or slower growing trees, and also those that have poor form. They've either got a bent stem or double leaders, this type of thing. And occasionally there'll be two really good trees together. That's the hardest decision, is being able to choose to remove one of those. So right on the edge here, this is a smaller specimen. There's some bigger trees all around me, so this will be the first one to remove. There's a lot of good stems around me here. Challenge is to choose one of these then, which is going to open up the stand and let plenty of light in. So this, even though this tree here has had a second pruning lift, this is the one that we're going to select for thinning. And then in behind it, we've got another one here. This one will go as well. And then the small tree, obviously here, this hasn't thrived at all, so that's an easy one to choose. And there's another one out on the corner here. You can see it's got quite a lot of sinuosity. It's growing a little bit twisted, and it's smaller than the others, so that can go as well. Most growers will thin their cypress stands in 2 operations. The timing for thinning will depend on growth rates and the need to reduce crown competition. Thinning is usually complete by age 10 to 12 on a productive site. It will be later on less productive sites. On this site, our final crop will be between 300 to 400 stems per hectare, so crop trees will be about 5 to 6 metres apart. Then they will grow on until they're ready for harvest in about 30 to 40 years. So by now you will understand why we need to thin and how to get the best result.